From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBacks, the Primetime Capper, and it is time for the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live. And I have my man, the Don of Cape Cod himself. He was with us Friday, but you know, Monday is his usual day. So it's great to bring him back, that he has time for us once again today. So you know we ready to rock and we ready to roll. So you guys, best behold, it's my man, the one and only Don of Cape Cod himself, Jeff Dawson. What's up, Jeff? What's going on? As you guys can see, Jeff is selling on the boat over in front of Bellagio right now. So,
man, I wish I would love to be there right now, but it's Monday, so what better way to be spent than at 3:00 Eastern time? 93 degrees, 100% humidity, but we're here with the one and only Pop DiBiase. What is up, my brother?
Well, you know, we got it 90 degrees here today with the dry heat. You know how it goes with that dry heat, man. You waiting on the breeze. That's all I can say is that you're waiting on the breeze most of the day. It may happen. It may not happen, but you waiting on the breeze if you're outside, man.
We used to get those breezes when the truck came by. But no, we do have a nice ocean breeze when it does blow, but the next 3-4 days, it's going to be real sketchy. Find a room with some AC or jump in your car, turn the AC on, but stay inside. Don't fight Mother Nature because it's undefeated.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is. All right. So, you know, we had a great weekend this weekend. We had a lot of great things happen this weekend. Fighting wise, we had Lomachenko get a big win Saturday night. Tank Davis was able to perform and deliver on pay-per-view. Once again, people got to understand with pay-per-view, you got to be a knockout guy to be on pay-per-view. You can't be just a boxer on pay-per-view. Only one guy getting away with that was Floyd Mayweather. Everybody else you got to be definitive. You got to knock somebody out, and that's exactly what he did. So he got the people their money's worth, a whole $75. I said, I don't know if the kid's worth $75 yet on the pay-per-view, but hey, it is what it is at the end of the day, right? So let's go ahead and get into some crazy games, though. Last night was a topsy-turvy type of game. You had Chris Middleton lead the Bucks to a 2-1 series lead, 113-102 victory. And it was a comeback, too. At one point, you saw – this is what I saw what happened last night. It was 82-85 at one point. The Hawks were up. They were confident. The crowd screaming and yelling, going nuts. Trae Young is out of the game. They got some confidence to him and everything like that. But then guess what? Chris Middleton goes way off. Chris Middleton was absolutely incredible. 22 points in the fourth quarter. He was able to, right the tide for these guys, and they were able to get themselves a win. Wound up actually outscoring the Hawks from that point on, 31-17, to get this 11-point victory. And they showed that they are the team that has the grit and grind to them that they can finish. And they don't need like a spark for them to finish. They don't need Giannis to go crazy or anything like that. Chris Middleton took care of that. Drew Holiday could have been a guy that did that as well, too. Same thing with Lopez. There's a lot of depth on that Bucks team, and I feel like they might be the most underappreciated team in all of the playoffs right now, too. We totally forgot about how good this team was. 2 years in a row of being the number one seed, get knocked out, all that stuff. This year, it's like this. Giannis has no roadblock, in my opinion. You got a young Hawks team that's overachieving. They know that they ain't supposed to be here. They were barely in the playoffs the last 6 weeks of the season, but they were able to make a great push up under McMillan. So I know that they may win one more game, but I think the Bucks pretty much showed us last night that they're going to win this series. Jeff, what are your thoughts?
We've talked here before, and we're always talking about it here at ECSI. It takes a new young team a year or two to finally push through. I mean, go back to the glory days. Michael didn't just walk through the Celtics or the Pistons. The Pistons, it took a few years for them to push through. And that's what happens, especially in the NBA. And it's so true, Pops, is that the number one seed in Milwaukee the last 2 years have been underachievers in most people's eyes. So they were forgotten this year. When we broke down the East, why we liked our initial through the East was Philly. Our second one was the Bucks, and why we liked the Bucks is because we looked at where their road was. So we said, why take the plus 180 to beat the Nets when you could get them at 6.5 to 1 to win this whole thing? And then the Hawks, what do? They knock out the Knicks, and then they beat a Philly team, which kind of beat themselves. So true. Overachieving. They know this is their last run here. The local guy, Kendrick Perkins, said it best. He says, you know what? Clutch time, give the ball to Middleton. You don't need to put it in Giannis's hand. And Middleton showed his worth last night. And this should end in 5. I really do think so. It'd be in the Bucks' best interest too. So be interesting to see how they come out in Game 4, Pops.
All right. So what I'm looking at here, I think that you're going to get yourself a pretty good line. It's going to be probably the same line that you got Sunday in this game. Maybe a little bit shorter. I think that the Hawks will take in a lot of money come tomorrow. I think there's going to be a lot of Hawks bettors. But we do have to see the status of Trae Young as well, too. Trae Young is really that ankle injury is not going to be something that you recover from in a day. So I know that that's also something that everybody's looking at as well, too. So at the end of the day, this should be still a pretty good series. I think it will go. The NBA will get the games that they want to get, because that was like a godsend to have both Eastern Conference semis go to the 7 game. The NBA loves going to 7 games because then they can sell the parity, all that good stuff. It is what it is at the end of the day. But we'll talk about the Clippers and the Suns later in the show. Once we get down to the playoff preview and everything like that, let's get into Chauncey Billups getting a job over in Portland to coach it up with the Blazers. But will they have enough to keep Dame? Will it be enough? At the end of the day, there's a lot of people talking now that Dame is ready to roll, ready to get on down the road and everything like that. But that's just them talking. And I thought last year or a few years back that he said there was a full commitment to, making the Blazers great, and that he loves being up there. And why wouldn't he love being up there? It's not too far away from his hometown in Oakland. So, everything has worked out. They've given Dame everything he's possibly wanted over the years. But I think, though, at the end of the day, though, maybe have ran their course, because to me, I know a lot of people love Dame Lillard's game and what he can do in the clutch, blah, 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 blah. But I think that maybe he might be one of the hindrances to this team moving forward as well, too. We got a lot of talent on that Blazers team, and you got a guy jacking up 35 shots a night when he doesn't have to. You know what I mean? You got CJ McCollum throwing up his 20, 25 a night, and then what's left over for the rest of the guys? You know what I mean? Then they have good players. They have players that can all play, and that's what's wrong, and that's why nobody was there for Dame in the end, because they already have this reliability on him. It's the same issue that Kobe had in the lean years of getting to the before Paul Gasol came, before Lamar Odom excelled to being one of the best 6 men in the league, and the list goes on and on. But at the end of the day, though, Kobe had to give up some of those buckets so people could get their opportunities. And I think Dame may need to get on a team that has other stars, so then he can understand that, you don't have to do everything on your own. Now, I know what you're looking at me like, do not say Lakers. I wouldn't want him on the Lakers. I don't think that would be a good idea, to be honest with you, because his temperament and the way that he responds to things wouldn't be up at LeBron's alley. You know that, Jeff. You know this. There will be issues between those two. And AD, AD's a good guy. AD can probably play with anybody, but you're dealing with LeBron. So I don't want to see Dame Lillard going to being just a role player. That's what LeBron has done to a lot of superstars in this league as well, too, that have played with him. Your thoughts on this, Jeff?
First and foremost, going back to the Bucks tomorrow, I'm seeing 6s and 7s, -6, -7, and I think a lot is predicated on the ankle of Trey, so we know more on that. Getting to this situation, what I'm hearing is that Mr. Dame himself wanted Jason Kidd. So he's now talking that he wants out. So whether those are true or not, I don't know. I think what you will hear a lot of talk in the summer is maybe a Ben Simmons for Dame, maybe just flip-flop if they are trying to move Dame. I don't know. I do know this, that Chauncey Billups is a hell of a hire. It would have been a great hire, I think, for the Celtics, but they had their eyes on someone else. I think Chauncey would do a great job. He's a leader. He was great on the court. I think he is going to excel there. Now, I think you're right. I think move him, start over, blow it up. There's been talks of them keeping Dame and moving McCollum, which I don't understand there. So with that said, love the hire. And I think it's run its course. I think you need to start fresh. I would get what I could for them. Hey, listen, if he doesn't want to be there and I could get a Ben Simmons, I would do that one in a heartbeat.
Maybe about Kristaps Porzingis as well, too. Because I heard that Dallas could be deep sea diving this year for since they have Kidd here in the helm of the team. So we'll see how it goes. But I love the hire here. Chauncey Billups is going to improve any team that he comes to. I think that he's the sole reason why the Clippers are still moving forward in this playoff right now as well, too. I know Tyronn Lue gets a lot of credit because he's the head coach. He's won a championship before. But you got to remember who was on that team with him as well, too. It wasn't like he was – me and you were on the team as the stars, and he won a championship. He showed his real coaching ability when he took over that Cavs team that had no LeBron, no Kyrie, and an injured Kevin Love, and was done in 7 games.
True.
That's the guy I'm thinking about. But Chauncey Billups is a guy that could probably be a coach in this league for the next 10 to 20 years. I
agree.
And he was itching at it, too, in the booth. We all could hear it in his voice that he would love to just be back on the court because it's too much when guys are a little arrogant when they talk about their careers and talk about the game, they usually need to be a coach or something of that nature to bring that to that level of confidence to the players. You can't be that confident in the booth. You got to kind of be a goofball a little bit in the booth, and so, pretty much it is what it is at the end of the day. Chauncey Billups and the Blazers, good fit, good stuff. And I think that this will work out for this team and they'll be able to move forward, unlike they've been able to move forward over the last few years. Terry Stotts just wasn't it. But we'll see how it goes, though. I'm wondering who's going to fill that Pelicans position right now as well, too. I would love to see Sam Gazelle get that spot, but I think they're going to make Sam wait another year or so for a head coaching job, to be honest with you. So let's go ahead and move on and talk about – it's never too early to talk about the NFL, Jeff. You know that. That's our thing. And you guys better be on the lookout. NFL Bet Exchange will be back late August. Me and Jeff will be tearing it up for you guys. We're going to have some really good material for you guys this year. We're going to have some new fun going on, some little competitions between us and the fans and things like that. So we'll see what you guys think, what you guys are playing during the week, and see who's going to win at the end of the week and everything like that. Dog of the week, best bet of the week, all that stuff. So you guys be ready for that. All right, so will DeShaun Watson play for the Texans this upcoming season, Jeff? What do you think?
Pops, that's the $1 million question. I mean, I know the Panthers deep down wanted DeShaun. They couldn't make it happen. I also know Denver was another landing spot for DeShaun. It's kind of funny is that nothing's being said right now. I go back to the Michael Vick situation and the PR hits. You go back to Ray Rice and some of these other big incidents. This is, I think, a lot bigger. The Texans are just dumpster fire. Their defense, they got rid of their Hopkins last year, JJ this year. They're just bringing in these old fossils for running backs. And I say old fossils. I think their number one back they just got from Denver. Lindsey might be their number one back this year. So if I was a betting man, Pops, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that eventually it's going to come out and there's going to be some kind of suspension. And then I think someone will take a swing at him, say, hey, he can't play for 8 games, however long it is. We'll take him on now. And, we'll chalk up this year as a loss. We'll play the backup, whoever we got, and move forward. I think that you're just going to blow this whole thing up and move forward.
Well, my thing is like this. You got $40 million sitting on the floor, man. You better go get it. You better get out your feelings, DeShaun, because they already messed you up good. So all you probably want to do is just play football this year and just get it over with. But I know you're mad about Hopkins. I wouldn't be too mad about J.J. Watt, though. J.J. Watt had ran his course. He had been hurt over the last 4 out of 5 years as well, too. Come on, Jeff. He ripped his arm out of the socket, something like that. Then it was a leg. Then it was a neck. Then it was just the list goes on and on. All JJ can do now is just be a cheerleader on the sideline, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, he'll make some plays. He's a vet. He's good enough to make plays. But the thing is, though, his best days are far, far behind him. And I feel like everybody's best days are far behind them. Find their way to Arizona or Jacksonville, to all the hot places. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But all in all, though, I think DeShaun Watson is leaving money on the floor. I think he needs to kind of get out of it, his feelings a little bit about the organization, and just get on and play some football, and then let him move him next year. But it is what it is at the end of the day. The NFL has not reared their ugly head yet into this situation, because I don't think the NFL believes anything that's going on here, to be honest with you, because this is one of their boys. This was one of their good guys. You know what I mean? DeShaun Watson is they got a lot of stories about DeShaun, all that stuff. So, it doesn't make sense that something like this would happen. And then, it's happening as he's trying to get away from the team. That just doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of a conspiracy here, but it'll all come out eventually. You know what I mean, Jeff? So it is what it is at the end of the day. But all in all, though, you guys go ahead and check out hatclub.com. You guys will be able to get yourself some of that drip. You guys will be able to get yourself looking real good with these hats, and pretty much $50 order. You guys get 10% off. So once again, that's hatclub.com. You guys go ahead and check it out. And with that, we will be right back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and the Don of Cape Cod himself, Jeff Dawson.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune in to Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
And here we are. We are back. And it is time to talk Blue Daily. The Dodgers got it together yesterday, Jeff. Actually won the last 3 out of 4 after being no hit on Thursday night. That was pretty good. And you know what? The Cubs only scored about 5 runs after that. They scored 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 1 yesterday. So that was Dodgers got their wake-up call after losing 4 in a row. because that was bad. Losing that was bad in San Diego this week. Ultimate flop in San Diego this week. But you know what, San Diego, get your licks in now, because when it really matters, you guys aren't going to know what to do with the Dodgers. They're going to figure out a way to have Tatis stop stealing signs too. They said that guy is notorious for stealing signs right now, dude. I'm telling you, he's balling. But hey, if you know what pitch is coming, then hey.
You know what?
It's your greatness, you know what I mean, Jeff?
And the funny thing about baseball is this. We talked on Friday. We were on the over on the Dodger game on Thursday night. They get no hit, it goes under. And then the Dodgers go and win the next 3 games. And it's just comical how baseball is. It's tough when a team beats you one day to go back to the well the next day. I'll bleep them. Well, then they, win the next 3. You're at 47-31. I was talking on our show today with Scotty about San Francisco. Great story. 50-27, Pops. 50-27. The fan graphics has the Dodgers winning the division and the Giants and Padres finishing tied for second. So if that's the case, there's your wild cards right there. Dodgers win the division with the Padres and Giants as the wild cards.
Well, Giants, it's time for you guys to go ahead and pay the piper. The Dodgers, see, this is the most important series of this month for the Dodgers to end off this month and figure out a way to win this series against the Giants. Now, last time the Giants came, Giants had their way in LA, just like the Dodgers had their way in San Francisco. So now they're both on an even keel, and I think what happens here is that you're going to have yourself a damn good ball game tonight. You got Trevor Bauer on the mound, 7-5, 2.57 ERA, going against Anthony DeSclafani, and he has 8-2, 2.77 ERA. So this is going to be good because, DeSclafani is actually pitching his best ball ever. In Cincinnati, he was middling at best. That's just being complimentary towards him. All in all, he wasn't that good. But their pitching staff wasn't good either at the same time. But he was a bright spot compared to most other pitchers that they do have there as well, too. So him coming to San Francisco has been a big help for their team as well, too, and the reason why they're in first place right now as well. You know what I mean? So we know that he's going to get a lot of support tonight from his guys, but we'll see how it goes. But the Angels, but I'm going to be honest, Giants looked really good in Southern California last week as well, too, against the Angels. They did what they wanted against the Angels, to be honest with you, Jeff. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. But this should be a good game tonight. The oldest rivalry in the National League. This goes all the way back to New York. Harlem versus Brooklyn. The Giants and the Dodgers. They want me to say Manhattan, but we all know that they was playing in Harlem. They was playing in Uptown, baby. Uptown, baby. Polo Grounds. The Polo Grounds. Hey, I heard a funny story about the Polo Grounds when the Jets played in there. It said that nobody could sit in there because everybody would have splinters up the hoo-ha, and nobody wanted to sit because the stadium was so old, decrepit. I believe it. I would think it was an all-wooden stadium, wasn't it? A good old all-wooden? Yeah.
Yeah.
Polo Grounds. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the first game. Phillies, Reds. Jeff, what's the line looking like right now?
Let me pull it up for you, Pops, real quick. Let me see here. Howard versus Miley, 6:40 start for you, Pops. Since he opened up at 150, now currently minus 147, 67% of the bets, 92% of the money, all coming in on the Reds. Philly and Howard, you're probably going to get like 2 or 3 innings out of them, and then you got the bullpen for the Phillies, and the Phillies bullpen is not good. So even though we are showing a slight reverse line movement here on Cincy, I would expect that they'll be able to handle the storm and kind of just grind this out at a 9.5. They're probably saying like a 6-4 final Cincinnati tonight.
I'm liking the over as well too, Jeff. I think that you're spot on about what you're saying right now. I think that Howard is a little bit over his head. This is a guy that doesn't really get too many people out as of late. Then you do have Smiley, who's a veteran, who's going to do what he has to do to get the Reds across the finish line, I think, today. But all in all, I think the over is the safest play for the bettors, in my opinion, because this game can go either way as well, too. The Phillies can come out. Bryce Harper hits a 3-run home run to start the game, and then it's a different story, Jeff. You know this. So, the Reds, I don't know if they have enough, physically when it comes to the hitting part. I think the Phillies are maybe one of the most overrated teams when it comes to it because they have Bryce Harper, who's supposed to be the premier player in baseball, but it hasn't been like that since he got there. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. Eventually, like Jeff, like we said before, eventually the Phillies and Bryce Harper are going to fall out. It's going to happen. I don't know when, but I still think that the Phillies just put themselves in a bad position. I remember our good friend Philly Pete was even said that he didn't think that was a bad move, but he's a Phillies fan. I thought that maybe Bryce should have been smarter. Took the the Dodgers were going to offer him $45 million. I think wasn't even $45 million. It was like $200 million for 4 years. They was going to give him a high end contract, but a short term deal.
I still think to this day, the Phillies signed Harper with the intention of luring Mike Trout back home. And what happened was once Harper got there, then the soft lobs and the bring Mike back home, and then the Angels in Anaheim said that's a big hell no, and then just restructured and created a new contract. So that's never going to happen. I mean, let's be realistic. Phillies have some decent front-end pitching. They have zero bullpen. They are going nowhere with this team and that contract, and no one's going to come flocking to play within Philadelphia. So I think this could be something in the next few years where they start to look to shop him, to some of the bigger teams and then just try to get a boatload back and start over.
Not like the Yankees and Dodgers aren't sitting downstairs in a Lincoln limousine. You know what I mean? The old Michael Jordan adage, Chicago don't get it right. LA, New York sitting downstairs waiting. All right. The next game, we got the Angels and the Yankees, and this is always a fun matchup between the Angels and the Yankees at the stadium. And the Angels always find a way to win and win big here too as well. So, don't sleep on the Angels tonight. You know what I mean? I think that they have a good shot to be in this game, but we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. But the Yankees, losers to 3 in a row. The Red Sox whooped them good this weekend. No mercy. Cobra Kai style.
Sweep the leg.
And then the Angels had dropped 4 in a row and then won yesterday against the Rays. Had to fly up from Tampa last night to get here to the Yankees. So when you look at it, you say, will there be some jet lag? Will there be this? Will there be that? And then you say, well, no, you just got to go ahead and see how the game plays out. And today they got Dylan Bundy on the mound. See, I feel bad for Dylan Bundy because if Dylan Bundy was on a team that could give him some run support, he would be one of the better pitchers in the MLB. The guy can pitch. You know what I mean? He's good. But the thing is, though, even in Baltimore, he never got run support. Now he's with the Angels. He doesn't get run support again. And then you have that. And you know what? I'm just looking at the stat right now. The Yankees are 16th in batting average this year, 235 batting average. Michael King is pitching today, 0-3 on the year, 34-18. This is probably the Achilles heel, the guy that you're licking your chops at when you're a batter in the Yankees pitching rotation. But you know what? The Yankees are going to have to figure out a way to fix this thing and fix this thing quickly. And I keep saying you have to part ways with one of your heavy hitters. Either you guys be Stan or Judge, Jeff, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because you got to get pitching at the end of the day. You got hitters. You're kind of being selfish with all these power hitters that you have. And then you got 2 guys that that strike out maybe maybe 60% of the time that they're up there. That's not good. That's not superstardom at all. That's just Adam Dunn. That's just being Adam Dunn, in my opinion. Jeff, what are your thoughts?
Well, I agree. The Stanton contract is they need to get out of that one. He's just not a fit. I guess on paper it looked amazing when you can put Judge and Stanton together. It's not working. The Yankees now 0-6 versus the Red Sox. I think they find themselves around 6 games back of the wild card. Myself and Scott talking about just what they need to do. Every fifth day that Cole has, he gets paid $1 million. So think of it this way. They were 0-5 and 0-2 on this stand against the Sox. Absolute must win. And the guy puddles himself within the third inning. Again, looks like another spider tack guy that just can't figure it out. They're a mess right now. They are not going to catch the Rays. They're probably not going to catch the Sox. And they may just hope to, the way the Jays are playing, they're battling with the Jays now. And tonight's just a perfect example of the public seeing this, and they're all in on the Yankees. They're not going to lose 4 in a row. They opened up at 135. Now they're minus 158. 78% of the bets, 73% of the money, all in on the Yankees. The lines moved 23 cents. The true value, again, is on the Angels. But again, another team with no back end. And Bundy been struggling. I don't expect a lot from King either. Over under opened at 9.5. Now is 10.5. Juiced under minus 120. I mean, this is a get well game in my eyes for the Yankees. I see a 7-2, 7-3 game all day. They're gonna really look to take their frustrations out today on the Angels, Pops.
All right, now you know what? You're not going to hear this, but I got the Angels as my dog of the day, plus 130.
I love it. That's where the value is.
Let's go.
Yankees team is a shell right now.
Right.
If they get the true, if they get the Dylan Bundy, not the Al Bundy, they got a hell of a shot today, Pops.
Hey, Al Bundy wasn't that bad when he was pitching softball. All right, so let's get on to the next game. We got the Royals. The Royals won me some money last week too, Jeff, in New York, in a game that was just like this one, where everybody wants to overstep the opponent because they're so in love with the Yankees. You know what I mean? They have this. The Yankees are just give you confidence that they'll win you some money, but it's really the opposite right now. But we got Kansas City heading into Baltimore today. Not to Baltimore, but Boston today. I think what happens here is that Boston actually has themselves a game today against the Royals. The Royals probably win maybe twice a week now, if not that, maybe once a week, probably. But all in all, Danny Duffy is really good. Danny Duffy has a 1.81 ERA on the year, 53 strikeouts over 15 balls. He's doing well. Garrett Richards, 4-5. I know I'm kind of tripping here, but I think that the Boston bats are hot right now, Jeff. That's what I'm betting on, is that the bats are hot right now, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do today is get themselves a nice win. They're third in batting average this year as well, too, and they're third in runs as well. So, they can be trusted in this situation, Boston, and Boston's been so good in Boston. I know that they got one of their weaker pitchers on the mound, but I'm not worried about the pitcher. I think that it's all about getting runs today, and if they get runs today, they should win this game by 2 or more. Jeff, your thoughts?
Pops, I hate to say it this way. I talked about the Rangers and Royals with you on Friday. We had the Rangers that night, and the Royals bats were nowhere to be found.
Right.
Now they come into Boston, and I hate to say it this way. I think it's actually the perfect storm for Kansas City. After getting swept and the Sox sweeping the Yankees, the Sox are throwing Garrett Richards. And again, since Spider Tack, the guy is just, his ERA is around 15. He can't grip the ball. He can't throw a curveball. He is absolutely lost. And I'm looking at the numbers right now, Pops. Boston opened up minus 150, now currently minus 147. 68% of the bets, 93% of the money's all coming in on the Red Sox, yet the line has dropped 3 cents there. Royals opened up at plus 130, currently plus 133. What's really funny here, Pops, is that the over-under opened up at 10 and is now 11 over minus 115, and that's with 81% of the money coming in on the under. I think the Sharps are saying right now that they're expecting a lot of runs here. They're expecting the Kansas City offense to finally wake up. And I don't have the number in front of me. I'm going to look later, but I would actually really be looking maybe even at a Kansas City team total over here. I'm assuming it would probably be around 4.5. I'll take a look at that. But I think Kansas City's sneaky today. I don't like to go against my Red Sox, but if I'm going to get paid, then obviously it's worth my while. But just keep an eye on the Royals. And again, that over is already up to 11, leaning to 11.5.
Sounds good to me, brother. Sounds good. I like that angle. I like it a lot. All right, let's go ahead and get into this divisional rivalry game, kind of. Cubs, Brewers, these two. Brewers have been a favorite a lot in these games in the division as well, too. And for good reason, because they're playing good baseball. The Cubs just dropped 3 in a row to the Dodgers. And both these teams are at the bottom of batting averages as well, too, in the league. So you got Freddie Peralta, their ace, and then you have Kyle Hendricks, the good savvy vet. But Freddie Peralta is having an all-star year right now. 114 Ks over 33 balls, 2.11 ERA, 7-2 on a year. He's doing a pretty good job when it comes down to, taking care of his business and getting the Brewers the wins that they need. And so that's why it's understandable that this is sitting at, minus 145 for the Brewers as the favorite. Over under 7 tonight as well, too. I think what happens here is that I think the Brewers go ahead and get themselves a good win tonight, Jeff. I'm going to just be dead honest with you.
Line opened at 140, now minus 145. 57% of the bets, 73% of the money is coming in on the Brewers. 5-cent line move. Cubs opened up at plus 120, now plus 131. What I also want to tell all the listeners here is, again, the Cubs played the late game, the ESPN game, now had to get up and then travel to Milwaukee. It's a great matchup on paper, Hendricks versus Peralta. I agree with you with the Brewers here. I like the spot here. I like the fact that, again, late game on Sunday, now traveling. Brewers rested. If you can get that game close and get it to the back end, both bullpens have been amazing. I watched Kimbrel on Thursday night, Pops, and I didn't recognize him. I talked to you Friday about that. The both bullpens are electric. So look for a low-scoring game. Over-under opened at 7.5. Over minus 125. Now 7. Over minus 127, and that's with 55% of the bets, 74% of the money all coming to the over. They don't want to get off the 7. Pops tells us that Brewers win tonight 4-3.
All right. Sounds good to me. Let's move on to a game where a lot of people are going to bet one side, and it's going to be one-sided, Jeff. Orioles and the Astros. And see, this is the day when you say to yourself, I'm gonna go in the book and bet the Orioles. Don't hesitate either. If I'm telling you, Jeff, you know what I'm talking about.
Listen, Bots, this is okay. Think about it this way. On Saturday, the favorites went 12-2. Sunday, the favorites went 8-6-1. Okay. So my point is, we're overdue for a dog day. Now, when you look at this game, Houston opened up 300. Now they're minus 321. 86% of the bets, 99% of the money, all is on Houston. And it's, let me see who we have here for a matchup here. Greinke versus Eshelman. Okay. So every parlay, money line, run line, the run line for Houston right now is minus 1.5, minus 170. There is no one in the world that thinks the Orioles can stand a chance here. There is no one punching tickets to the Orioles. So if you want to get your little scratch ticket, I agree with you. Listen, it's a shot in the dark. It's a baseball game. It's 9 innings, 27 outs. Anything can happen. Greinke could pull a hammy in the first inning, and then it's a bullpen game. So I agree with you 100% here, Pops.
And there it is. I love it, but I'm going to take the plus 1.5. I'm going to spread this thing.
All right.
But if you want some action, you want some money today, bet them. If you're feeling risky, if you love living on the edge, bet them. All I can say. All right, Arizona Cardinals. Arizona is just you guys irritate everybody. You're irritating. You know, the irritation of the Diamondbacks this year. But I think this game can wind up being an over-under type situation here. Jeff, real quick, what are your thoughts?
Me and Scott talked about this, and he talked about the St. Louis starter, Wade LeBlanc, an old-timer that is basically a bullpen guy. You're not going to get any length from him. And then Jacob Faria, who started with the Rays, he's been injured. He's been bounced around by a few teams. The better edge initially comes to Arizona. This line opened up minus 155, now 168 again. Public's all in on all the favorites today. 77% of the bets, 84% of the money, all coming in on the Cards. The over-under opened at 9.5, juiced under minus 125. Now 8.5, juice over minus 115. 55% of the bets, 68% of the money, all coming in on the over. Scotty talked about a possible edge with Arizona plus the half run first five, or you can even grab them at plus 140 to win the first five outright. St. Louis bats have been struggling. You know, this is a game also where maybe their bats do wake up, but we're staying far away from this. We're just going to be watching this high above courtside, brother.
All right, that, man. What you got? Well, I'm a scoreboard watcher, so we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. But this game looks pretty good to me. All right, so with that, we're going to go ahead and take another break. But you guys check out Paramount Plus. They have their own content as well, too, Jeff. They got some really good new shows and everything like that. All the shows that didn't make the cut on CBS and all their properties and stuff. So you can watch it on Paramount Plus. So Netflix, I'm telling you, y'all are in trouble. Right? Jeff, I'm telling you, they got all these new streaming services. All the big boys have caught up finally after 15 years, but now they're all starting to show that they want to get into this game as well, too. All right, so with that, we will be back, but you guys check out Paramount Plus. Very good options there. You guys will love it. And with that, me and Mr. Dawson will be right back.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
All right, we're back, Jeff. And hopefully Jeff doesn't get too far into the lagoon right now. Now, if he was really in Vegas, his face would be pink right now, reddish. It'd be some type of bright red color because it is cooking in Vegas right now. But you know what? When I left Vegas, it was actually cooling down a little bit. It felt good. You guys got to understand, when you're sitting in there with the 115-degree heat in Vegas and it hits 98, you got yourself a very, very difference in perception, and you'll love that 98 degrees with the breeze coming through. It feels like a 80 or 75 in LA, to be honest with you.
My 4th of July trips for the World Series of Poker are always like that. It's 1:13, 1:15, and then at 8:30, 9 o'clock, when the sun goes down, it drops down to a nice cool, 101, 199. It feels amazing. I'm actually looking for a sweatshirt or a jacket by then. It's comical.
Right. Or 4 a.m. when it's 90 degrees. See, I stay out a little bit later than Jeff.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm getting ready for my first cup of coffee at 5 a.m. and everyone else is just coming in from the night.
Right. People like me, that 5 a.m. All right, let's talk about it. Clippers, Suns. I don't think the Clippers season ends tonight, Jeff, to be honest with you, but I'm going to take the over just to be safe. I don't think the Clippers season ends tonight. I think the plus 180 is monster value for you as well tonight, too. I think that people, if you want to take it, don't hesitate, jump all over it. Jeff, what are your thoughts real quick on this game?
Pops, for the last 2 hours, I've been seeing some good reverse line movement on the Clippers, not just on the spread, which went from 6 to 5.5, but on the money line, where Phoenix opened at 240, was down to 220, and the Clippers at plus 199 were down to as low as 180. In the last 45 minutes, we're seeing a buyback, Pops. Phoenix now minus 235 on the money line. 73% of the bets, 96% of the money all in on Phoenix. And the spread is now opened at 6, was down to 5.5, back to 6. 60% of the bets, 81% of the money is all on Phoenix. I think the public's waking up. They're heading back to the sports books as we speak. I think this is a highly public game. We're sitting here with Clipper futures, unfortunately, kind of stuck in a spot right now. I think the Clippers don't. I'm with you. I think they don't go down without a fight. I mean, they need to get out early. They got to make their free throws. They can't miss 11 of them. I wouldn't be shocked, honestly, if they stole this one. It's 213. I'm going to go 108, 105. Actually, it opened at 216, so let me do better than that, Pops. I'm going to go 109, 107 Clippers tonight.
And there it is. Close game tonight in Phoenix. Let's see how it shakes out. All right, let's go ahead and talk them tickets. And I got a 76-1 ticket here, Jeff. Over 9.5 for the Phillies and the Reds. Angels money line plus 135. Your Red Sox minus 1.5 tonight. Even though you already gave me the forewarning that they're going to lose tonight, but I'm going to be stubborn here. And then we got the plus 1.5 on the Orioles tonight just to cover. I know I would be more bossy if I said plus 240, let's go. But I don't trust Baltimore that much. You know what I mean? I trust them to keep the game close. But I think that they could get you a good win today because they always set the Astros up, Jeff, in this position. I've seen this scenario about 10 times with them, and it never works if you're backing the Astros. This is like the day that you don't back the Astros. This is the day you just watch them play. Then you got the Brewers minus 140, and then we got the under with the Diamondbacks and Cards in the most irrelevant game of the night. I'll tell you, I'm about to start that. The most irrelevant game of the night. DBacks and Cardinals. They're playing for absolutely nothing, but that they're both on the schedule, meeting up at the same time. That's it, and that's all. All right, so you guys know where you guys can go bet at. YouWager, where the world bet's at. You guys can use the promo code VSXPOP. You guys can get yourself situated with a $300 deposit. They'll go ahead and match you with a $150 deposit because they do a 50% match deposit. And then you got yourself a $150 free play, and your sports betting journey begins with YouWager. All right, so pretty much with that, I want to go ahead and thank my man, Jeff Dawson, for coming on in, talking with us once again. This week from Monday, his usual day. Maybe we'll get him back sometime this week if he does have some time for us. But it's always a pleasure to have you here, brother. I'm so happy that you're here and talking with us and everything like that. I know that you got to get back over to the other side over there and get yourself situated and everything back into the book and all that good stuff. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. Jeff, any final thoughts?
Always blessed, always honored to be here, Pops. Check me out late this week. I might be able to squeeze in that Friday. Maybe we can be bookends for you as we progress and get closer to the NFL Bet Exchange. All the listeners not following us, go on to Twitter at EC Sports Invest. follow us. We'll follow you right back. Turn on your notifications. We got a great show coming on. Trying to be at noon every day. The Breakfast Bankroll Midday Sports Market Report. And we're just going over overnight numbers, where the market is in the morning and where it's leaning in the afternoon. And any emails, send us at eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. Again, always great to be here, Pops. Can't wait till we reconnect in Vegas sooner than later, and look forward to the NFL Bet Exchange as well.
Hopefully, we'll be doing the first episode side by side in Vegas. We'll see.
That would be great. That would be really good.
You know, because you got to keep squeezing this damn Thursday night football in, but we'll see how it goes. So, you know. We got to shoot the show way earlier than I want to because we want to do the Thursday night football. But I might figure out a way to where we just do Thursday night football on Thursday night and then still have our show Friday. But I want to keep the balance of the schedule together too. So if we got 16 games, then we can have an even number when we do the end of the week numbers on how the results went. But that's for another time and another place. This is the Primetime Angles, the premier sports betting show with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and he's not a guest, he's family, and pretty much our constituent, my man, the Don of Cape Cod, Jeff Dawson. So once again, as I always say, bet with your head, not with your heart. If you have a hunch, bet a bunch. The movement is moving. All right. So with that, I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.